Nick, I'll start with the obvious. Able to come back late against Nevada. I know you talked about it after the game, but walk us through that feeling being able to walk off against Nevada.
Yeah, I think just the feeling of winning. That's what we're all chasing here. That's what we're here to do. I think that's what everyone in the locker room and in this building wants to do. So, anytime you can get a win, you're gonna feel good, especially in the way we did it. Kind of like walking it off like that. It was pretty cool. But I mean, like I said, that was just the defense continuously gave us an opportunity to go out on the field and to put points up on the board, and it took to the very end, but no one gave up, and it was a good feeling to watch our guys like just fight and give effort to the very last snap, and that's what won us that game.
And on that game-winning drive, I believe it was connected with five different guys. What clicked for you in that moment as you were able to go down and get the winning touchdown?
I mean, I don't think it's anything that like all of a sudden, it's just like oh, it just randomly clicked. I think that throughout the game, we never gave up. Guys never laid down. They continually played with effort, and like you said, what was it, five different guys on the last drive? I mean, that just shows like everyone's involved. Everyone is keyed in all the time, and I mean, we have multiple guys who the ball can get to, and they can make plays with it, and that's just gonna we just have to build on it, build with consistency. Um, and that's just kind of what we did. We have to lean on our playmakers in times like that, and our guys showed up. And when it was time to make a play, plays were made, and we pulled it out in the end. So that was really good to see.
Nick, you mentioned you guys just didn't quit throughout the whole game, and offense was hard to come by until those final two drives. How do you kind of take that success and put it together for 60 minutes as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think you like obviously we watched the tape yesterday. We were honest with ourselves, like what went wrong. We had three red zone trips when we came away with 0 points, and obviously like that's not going to win you a lot of ball games just with looking at that itself. So we had to be honest with ourselves, like what wasn't going right for us, and on those first three red zone trips, obviously negative plays you can't have in the red zone, penalties you can't have in the red zone because that's whether it's gonna keep you from the opportunity of scoring a touchdown or knock you out of field goal range. Like those are things that as the season goes on, or like even as an individual game goes on, like those are things that add up. And again, I'll say like credit to the defense. Like there's a lot of times where we put the defense in tough situations and they just did their job and gave us the ball back, and we were able to do our job at the end of the game. But we have to be better in the red zone, less penalties, less negative plays, and that's where we could kind of learn from it, and obviously just build off the good stuff that happened in the fourth quarter.
Obviously, Najee's been a dog for you guys this season, but Cam Lacey and Miles Butler stepped up big time on Saturday. Kind of just talk about how vital those guys are to the offense and what they bring whenever you can get those two plus Najee involved.
Yeah, I think, well, Najee obviously has been just such a competitor from the moment he's got here. I think since he got here in the spring, and we've been able to see him grow, I think, as a person and as a wide receiver, he's really been outstanding. He's been like a really good um, just receiver to have. That guy will go up and make plays. So he's aggressive in the air. He's aggressive at the point of attack. He runs great routes. He's physical in terms of blocking. Obviously, blocking for Cam and Miles on those quick screens you saw on Saturday. He's everything you want in a receiver and as a person, as a teammate. And obviously, Miles has been doing it for a long time now. You saw him last year. He's been getting involved this year again, and he's been doing a great job. He's a leader. He kind of teaches all those guys in that wide receiver room, like, this is how you should do things, and this is how things need to get done if you want to win. And then, you kind of saw Cam on Saturday have an increased role, and he's someone who I think since the moment he's got here, I knew that kid was a baller. Everyone sees it, the way he practices, the way he goes about taking care of his body and everything off the field is really a testament to just kind of the player he is and the player he wants to be. And I'm really proud to just see like some of his hard work come to light and him have a good game. And I continue to expect great things out of Cam and really all those guys because that's a good room and they work really hard.
You seem to really establish the run with the running back room with JaKale and Ricky. How important is that to keep that going? Especially, you won the game. How important is that to winning the game and keeping that going moving forward?
Yeah, I mean having a balanced offensive attack is going to be key, right? You need to be able to keep the defense honest. You need to be able to run the ball and then also throw the ball like when you need to, whether it's short yardage situations in the red zone. We have a talented running back room. JaKale's one of the most talented running backs I've been around. Ricky adds another aspect of some experience, some leadership, whether it's on the field. Like Ricky is a very vocal leader on the field. Encouraging guys, even in like throughout the course of a drive. Like Ricky, right after a play, whether it's a run, whether he's blocking, like he's very vocal, encouraging guys, and that's really good to see. And like we had some success on Saturday. We need to build on it because having a balanced offensive attack is gonna just allow us to be better as a unit.
Two questions. Number one, there's always value in winning. Is there even more value in winning the way you did on Saturday?
I don't know. That's tough to say because at the end of it, like our goal is to win, and the way we won, no win's ever the same. You're going to find different ways to win every time you play the game. I think what it showed us, what it showed this team is like, hey, like you guys, like we can win, right? You start off the season, you go, 0-2 the first 2 weeks of the season. You go out west. You have a long flight. First 3 quarters don't go how you want, but you fight, you consistently fight, you give effort to the very last snap, and then it showed everyone that hey, like we can do this. We can go out there, we can play with the best of them, we can win, and I think that's important for our guys to see. But I think that, like I said, like the effort and the resiliency throughout the course of that game was really good for everyone, and I think we kind of got closer to each other throughout that, so that was really good to see.
That being said, Coach talked about it to take the momentum of that. Self-impose the pressure early in the game and start fast.
Right. Well, I mean, I think like you see, like our first drive versus Wisconsin, our first drive versus Nevada, like we were moving the ball, we had good success, we were running the ball well, we were throwing the ball well, we got down into the red zone. Now we just need to finish. Right. We were able to get 3 on the first drive versus Wisconsin. We would have liked to score a touchdown and get 7. The first drive versus Nevada, we're moving the ball really well. We get into the red zone. We take a couple negative plays. We knock ourselves out of field goal range. Like that's on us as an offensive unit. We need to get better at that. And I think when you talk about not putting pressure on ourselves, like really just doing our job, we have to do our job in order to finish those drives. And then we can, we help our defense out by putting up 7 on the board and we let those guys go do what they do best and get us the ball back.
You could visually see a sense of relief from you after you punched it on Saturday. I know it's been a lot for you guys the past couple of weeks, but what is the energy like, especially in the locker room, day in and day out, just for you all to really make sure that you're putting more on board?
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things. Like I think the energy within the locker room, even after the first 2 weeks, was still very high. Guys were confident. Guys had a lot of energy, and I think going into Nevada, guys were confident. Guys had a lot of energy, and there was never a time throughout that game, through the first 3 quarters, where guys got down on themselves. Guys started turning on each other, pointing fingers, and that's something that's very easy to do. But I think we have a mature group. We have guys who lean on each other, who are close to each other, who when times get tough, hey, like we look to one another and we're like, listen, this is what we need to do to win this ball game. This is what we need to go out there and do, and we're going to get it done. And like I said, when it came down to it, defense got us the ball back. We were able to lean on each other. Our playmakers made plays. We got in the end zone, and at the end of the day, we just had to score more points than they did. And defense gave us an opportunity to score, and we did that. And we just have to build on that moving forward.
Anything else for Nick? Thanks, Nick.